number one goal of the Office of the District Attorney is to seek justice and thereby protect public safety. For 25 years as a prosecutor, I have witnessed a justice system that is not only leading to more crime and more victims, but has created the greatest social injustice of our time.
Something that I think that really will be a great help to us here and throughout, particularly the black community. And he said it in such a way that I wanted to bring him, to have him say it to you. I really think that we need to pray for him and the judge to make happen. So at this time, please hear a gentleman, a brother in the Lord, and his family, who's going to say some things to you and I that I think we need to hear and get behind. Steve Ipsen.
A little intimidating, high expectations when Bishop Hearns gives me such faith. So before I begin to hopefully live up to your bishop's expectations, I just want to thank you for being so accepting of my family and me here. We're overwhelmed. It's inspiring because the message, I thought I was here for one reason, and I'm getting different gifts, and I'm here for, I'll find out the reason later. But one thing I'm realizing is we're all here for different reasons. We have different paths that bring us to the door. And some it may be health and suffering, some can be other hardships, some can be unfortunately, they or a family member ran across me in court, and they involved criminal activity, and they need help with their lives. And I think I know the reason I'm here. When I started, I thought it was my idea. I don't think it was my idea that ended up, or my purpose. And then Bishop invited me, and I thought maybe it was his idea that I was here, but I actually think it's somebody else's idea that I'm here. I think you know who I'm talking about. What I hope to do is tell you what the reason I think I'm here and what I'd like your help with. And then I'll find out by meeting you my real purpose and what I'm really going to do, and I'm looking forward to that. But the best I can do now is tell you what in my heart I feel is my purpose and ask your help for me. I've been prosecuting for 25 years, and for 25 years, and I'll say, I mentioned to a friend the other day, I feel like I need to have a confession as a prosecutor, that some things we're doing wrong. And he said, Steve, that's a great way to put it, confessions of a prosecutor. For 20 years, I thought we were doing a good job with a lot of young men and a lot of young women, and they'd be arrested and technically violated the law. Possession of marijuana, and when the deputy pulled him over, they said, well, I was taking it to sell some friends, I lost my job, and as a DA, it happened the other day, a young man, he admitted, I was selling to make a little money. Well, what happened I thought was normal and okay. It's a felony, possession for sale. We thought we were giving him a break, I always have. 30 days jail, and just 3 years felony probation. With jail overcrowding, you'll only do a few days. No harm. Yesterday, 2 days ago, another young man, his mother just got out of prison, had her 2004 Dodge. He jumped in it, went for a ride. She called the police, doesn't want him to get away with it. She didn't intend this, but he gets charged with a felony in my court. 10851, driving a vehicle without permission. That's a felony, and we think we're going to do a good job with him, give him a break with a little Caltrans. You're branded a felon for years. This happens in so many cases. I'm not talking about crimes against a person where public safety is involved. I'm talking about what could be called victimless crimes, where it's property. It's just going to Target. It's not legal, but shoplifting because you need some food for the family. We arrest you if we can prove you planned that going in, you're a felon. What I have to tell you, my confession is, our system is thinking we're doing good, branding far too many young people felons.
That's right, that's right.
Thank you for applauding the message and accepting my apology. It is in good faith that prosecutors think we're doing this, but the message my colleagues need to hear, our state needs to hear, and the path to doing it right is that destroying the hope and the dreams of these young people.
That's right.
With possession of drugs for sale, selling, and rock cocaine is horrible, and meth is horrible, but selling a little meth because you have a habit and you bought a little extra to make a little money should not brand you for life as a felon.
That's right.
The question I ask my colleagues who look at me with surprise is, once we make him a felon, even if we give him a break and only a little time in jail, is it going to be harder or easier for him to get a job? It's harder. You know that. I'm telling you what you know. And if it's harder for him to get a job, we've done this to him as prosecutors and judges. Great judges like my judge think we're doing a good job. Is it harder or tougher for him to get a job? Is it more or less likely he's going to commit another crime? We are inadvertently criminalizing our society and pushing them into more crime. And when he commits another crime, as a prosecutor, I can say, see, he did it again. I told you he's a bad guy. There aren't that many bad kids. There aren't that many bad people. Our structure is broken. And what this house does is, even though I haven't been here for a while, it's always you're welcome back and you're forgiven for your sins. Our penal system needs to change. It needs to truly allow what I call reform first. Before we label you, before we push you out and say you are forever a felon, forever having to put felon on your job application, forever barred from having a certificate in medicine or a certificate in education, and killing these dreams.
Even being able to vote.
Tomorrow will mourn the death of the dream of Dr. Martin Luther King. And the dream is what saves people. At the end of our lives, we know there is a judgment, and we have our whole lives to realize and to be forgiven for what we do. The justice system needs to and can do the same thing. And it's not that tough. And I'm embarrassed to say it took me over 2 decades to realize, one, that I was doing it wrong. 2, that there's a simple way to do it. This is what I do today, every day in court. We're supposed to just get the felony conviction and move on. I do something different. My judge, I won't say his name because I didn't get his permission, but he thinks we're on the right path. I tell him, if you're a drug dealer, if you want to be a criminal for life, take your 30 days. There's so much overcrowding, you'll be out. If you are not, if you don't want to be a felon, I'm going to have a tougher path for you, but you will control whether you'll have that conviction. That path is work. We all know that's the best punishment, is get a job. I'll tell you, as a prosecutor, it makes me feel like I'm on the right path. Being on the wrong path is not fun. Now I want to be on the right path. And I say, if you don't want to be a felon, plead guilty, you're not going to be sentenced for a year. And that case can be dismissed in a year. What you have to do is work, get out in the community. And do 1,800 hours of structured community service, which is, oh my, that's a lot of work. That's 45 weeks at 40 hours a week. But I say, but, for every hour you work at a job, any job is noble and respected. If you are, making hamburgers, if you're working at Chief Auto Parts, if you're sweeping floors, that's your path to not being a felon. You should be proud of them. Tell them that is your path. Come back in 1 year and it'll be a misdemeanor. Do it for another year and you'll have no record. We'll dismiss it. Fewer of our young people labeled felons. And the only ones that should have that label are the ones that demand it. It sorts itself out. And rather than the system saying, you have no choice, because once we got them, we got them. Possession for sale, we have no choice. They take the felony and they're stuck. You know what I'm talking about. I appreciate you listening to me telling you that the system is broken. My message is there's a way to fix it.
Come on now.
And there are different ways. And politics, I thought, is what brought me here. That's not why I'm here. Maurice saw me. I thought it was politics. That's out the door. We can change our laws. We can do it in the legislature. We can do it by initiative. We can have different leaders who are saying we've made a mistake. We need to do it differently. We will protect public safety because the dangerous people who are being released early now, there will be room for them. And the kids and the young people, and even older people. I had a woman, no criminal record, and she committed perjury on her Section 8 application because she said she wasn't living with a person that had a felony conviction. Why should this woman be a felon at age 53? And that's what my office wanted to do, blocking her path in life. I'm way over my 3 minutes. The bishop will learn never invite a lawyer into church and ask him to speak. But I need your help. I can see in your eyes, and I feel that we can do this. I need your help. This is what I'm doing in life now. My wife is here, she's supporting me. I can't do it alone. Together we can do it. It truly can happen, it's the right thing. And I call it reform first, because before you punish and label them and say you are no longer accepted in our society, you're a felon forever, give them a chance to reform. And I'm telling you, a vast majority of these young people will reform, and we solve our problem. For every 20 people that are in prison at $50,000 apiece, that's $1 million back in our school system and job creation. I can find 20 people in prison tomorrow who will take this program. There's $1 million for our schools. And I can find another 20 probably for the next year. We can't send in LA County 22,000 young people to prison every year and then have 22,000 coming out hardened saying, now get a job, and they have a felony record. We can't make 139,000 people a year felons, put them on probation and say, as a felon, get a job. And be shocked when it doesn't work. So thank you for your support. You'll see me here again.